Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a fun project recipe that's a little bit of a vintage throwback. This is the Fanatic project recipe, but we are going to use a theme pack to create it. And before I forget to say anything, let me just also remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, so you never miss a video. And if you're interested, Creative Memories is releasing their Christmas collection today. And so at noon Central Time, which is 11 o'clock for me because I'm Mountain Time, in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning or noon Central, is when ordering opens up for that. If you're wanting to get that and you're not your own advisor, or you don't already have an advisor, I would be honored if you would like to purchase that from my website, and you can find that in the description for this video. And there's lots of great things on there because we're celebrating the Creative Memories birthday this week. So lots of freebies, lots of fun things. So check it out, would you? I would love that. In the meantime, let's check out my workspace and get started, okay? Okay, so here's my workspace for today. This is a mini pack or theme pack that Creative Memories came out with back in 2019 called the Gridiron. If you've been paying attention to the product releases, recently Creative Memories released a bunch of small embellishment packs that go along with the back to school paper that was released last year or the year before. And many people were confused as to why there wasn't really anything football specific in that. Well, it was because they had this, and this pack has since sold out because of the fact that attention was brought to it and people were needing football stuff. So if you don't already have this, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be able to get it, but this project recipe that I'm going to do today was actually designed for a totally different pack anyway. So just keep that in mind as you watch, that this would be appropriate for many different things. And if you happen to have this theme pack, then hopefully this gives you some incentive or good ideas for this football season and photos that you might be able to use with that. You also could substitute other papers, that have grass related on them. And I'm sorry, my brain is still a little foggy from my trip, so they're not coming to mind. But just keep that in mind, that there are other options of things that you can do. So keep in the back of your mind, what if I used this other product? What if I used, something else? And I think you'll be surprised at the fun things that you might be able to come up with there. So this pack does come with very theme specific items, as you can see here. These are the stickers that come along with it, and though we're not going to use the 12-inch stickers much today, we probably will use some of these to embellish. So I'm just going to set those aside for right now. This project recipe that we're going to use today was designed for a collection called Fanatic. Fanatic came out in 2018, and unfortunately I don't have any of that left, but it had some very cool papers. It had this really nice blue plaid. It had this kind of quilted looking paper. It was really all about supporting athletic events and just being a cheerleader for your team. So it was really a fun collection. And as you can see, the project recipe is actually pretty versatile. It's not theme specific. So you could use this for many, many, many different things. I'm going to use my border maker system today, and I'm using an older border maker called the Simple Leaf. It has one leaf that is chained together as you punch, and we're going to make it look like a football. As you can see, it kind of has a herringbone shape in the middle akin to maybe a fish or fish bones, but I'm looking at it and to me it looks like it could be the laces on a football. So that's how I'm going to use it today. And we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it'll be cute and it won't be too abstract for people to wrap their brain around. So I'm just going to set this aside for a minute or two. We'll get to that in just a minute. I am using charcoal, 2 pieces of charcoal cardstock. That's what I have down here. I have a piece of white cardstock that's just a scrap to be able to punch the laces that we're going to use on that football. I have the touchdown paper that we're going to use. This is also the touchdown paper. It's just the back side of it. We're going to use the stripes, and then we're going to use this paper, which has kind of a star on it, and then the back side looks like the fabric you would have a football made from. So we're going to use that to augment this layout. I'm going to put my base pages aside and also my extra piece that we're going to punch for the laces, because we don't need those just now. First, we're going to cut a few things. So grab your trimmer, and we're going to jump over to the cutting guide. So here we've got our 3 designer papers, and then they call for another piece of cardstock to cut these 2 borders from. I'm not going to use cardstock for that. I'm going to use this designer paper, the same one I'm using as paper number 3. We should be able to get what we need from that. If for some reason we don't, I have the second piece of this handy I can grab, but I'm pretty sure I can get what I need to out of what's left of this piece of paper. So let's grab the trimmer. And I'm going to start with this touchdown piece of paper, and we're going to cut this at 5.5 by 12. That means I don't need my arm out. I just need to move my paper to the very edge of my trimmer. That's 5.5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and cut straight down. All right, so there's piece number 1. Then we're going to turn this, and this piece now should be 6.5 inches, which it looks pretty close without getting my measuring arm out. So we're going to take this and we're going to measure 4.5. So it's already 6.5. This is going to be a mat at 4.5, and we're going to cut one more at 4.5 for a second mat. And then we're going to take this piece down here and turn it again horizontally, and we're going to cut this at 3.25 because it's 6.5 already. So now we have 2 that are 3.25 by 3. All right, so those are also mats. Now I'm going to grab the striped piece that has the touchdown grass on the back. We're going to cut this in exactly the same manner that we cut the green grass. So bringing it all the way to the edge here, I'm going to go ahead and cut straight down at 5.5 inches by 12. I'm going to put those 2 pieces together. Then we're going to take this and turn it sideways horizontally. We're going to cut 2 pieces at 4.5. So there's 1. The second one. So those are also mats, and then we're going to turn this back horizontally again and cut this in half at 3.25. So 4 mats that are 3.25 by 3 and 4 mats that are 4.5 by 6.5. All right, then we're going to take this paper right here. Sorry, just taking my little reminder stickies off. And we're going to cut this one. This is non-directional, so it doesn't really matter which which way you put it into your trimmer. We're going to cut this at 3 inches. We're going to cut 2 of them. So here's 1, and here's 2. And then we're going to cut, before we cut these 2 pieces right here, I'm going to go ahead and punch these 2, just so I don't have to fiddle around with sticky notes and trying to make my border maker work easier. So we're going to get our border maker out, take this paper and slide it in all the way to the shoulder, close the magnet over top, push the guide back underneath. If you haven't seen our border maker system before, make sure you check out the video on my channel for how to use the border maker system. This is a wonderful system for creating custom borders, super fast and easy, and gives you a great variety of borders that you can make. So there's that. We're going to do one more. And if any of you have not seen the new promotional or the new products that are releasing today, be sure you check out my Facebook page, because all the Christmas products are releasing today in celebration of the CM birthday. There's lots of freebies, lots of fun things on there. A couple of a new punch, a new border maker cartridge for Christmas that you're not going to want to miss. So be sure you check that out. All right, so we've got our 2 football borders. I'm just going to set that aside for a second. We'll use it again in just a minute. In the meantime, we're going to finish cutting these, and we need 2 that are 3 by 3 1/4. So we're going to cut another piece that is 3 inches. Sorry, mine just shifted. There we go. Okay. Finn, is somebody here? Surprise. All right. That's my nephew's and his wife's puppy dog, Finn. He's fun. All right, so 3 1/4. So we end up with 6 mats that are 3 by 3 1/4, 2 of each of the papers that we've chosen, and this is extra. So we're just going to set that to the side. Okay, we just need to punch our laces for the footballs, and then we should be good to go ahead and get this assembled. That seems like it went by fast. Okay, so I'm just going to take this. This is actually a top sheet from an old collection that I used all the paper from. Some of our older collections, the top sheets were done in really nice heavy cardstock, so I like to use that when I can. And I'm going to go ahead and punch 2 full borders from this. You'll notice it makes a larger or a louder sound when you use cardstock in this, because it's a little bit heavier paper. So we've got our extra leaves, but really what I'm interested in are these fishbone looking things down here that are the kind of the negative of the punch. So we're going to save those, and we're going to punch this one more time. I mentioned earlier that I'm recovering. We took our trip to Ireland, so you'll have that to look forward to. That'll be a new series starting in January. And I, instead of just bringing home normal souvenirs, ended up coming home with COVID. So I've been hanging out at home and working on feeling better, which I am slowly. It's different this time. I've had COVID before, but last time it felt a lot more, I don't want to say delusional, but that's kind of the way it was. This time around, it's mostly just a head cold and a cough every now and then. So not too bad as the cookie crumbles, right? All right, so we're going to start with the left-hand side of our layout, and I'm going to use, according to our project recipe up here, they use one of these this way and the other one this way for our two outside pieces here, you can see. But I want to use the whole touchdown grid. So fortunately, I chose to use the same two papers that have the touchdown grid on them. So this sheet is going to be turned over to the green and used on the right side of the layout. We're first going to go ahead and adhere this left side to the outside of our page. So like that. And then we're going to go ahead and take our yellow stars, and they're going to go straight up the center of our touchdown green. I'm going to put them right between the numbers and the marks over here so that you can see both of those. Okay, now I'm going to grab my other side, the right side of the layout, and we'll do the right side of the layout, and then we'll catch up. All right, now what we're going to do is go ahead and do our borders. Now you'll want to make sure that your arrows are going the direction that you want. You can make them both face towards the center, you can make them both face forward. I would definitely have the arrows of at least one side facing that direction, because that's the way your book is moving, and for me it just seems like it will disrupt the flow of the book to to put that those arrows going backwards, but that's just me. I'm just going to lay these on here just for the time being so we can kind of get a feel for spacing. So we've got our border across the top, and according to the project recipe, we're going to take our four largest mats, and we're going to, they've got them going this direction, so one going that way, one going that way, and then this one here and this one here. And then they've got these three going across the top. I think what I'm going to reorder these just a tad, just so that we have a little bit more continuity with the colors. By that I mean so that I'm not placing a green one over the green. This project recipe really features quite a few photos, which is nice if you are a picture taker, and most people at a sporting event are going to take lots of photos, so this is a really nice layout for that. And I'm going to again reorder these. We're going to put those like so, and those like so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down because I can't see that they're going to go in any other direction than this. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down, and then we'll get to the rest. Now let's go ahead and grab the repositionable adhesive, and we'll go ahead and put this put our footballs down. I wanted to wait until I had the rest of that adhered before we put these down, so that I could make sure they were evenly spaced between the top and the top of the photos here. Oop. Okay. And to make sure they're at the same height. I'm just going to put my 2 pages together so that I can just make the design continue right at the same level. All right, now we need to do our arrows, or our stitches. And, okay, I just did that on the wrong side of my cardstock. So if you've used some cardstock that is printed on the other side, just be sure that you put your adhesive on the printed side. Sounds like a no-brainer, doesn't it? I'm just slipping this right in to the same spot where it was punched out. All right. Now we just need some embellishments.
For a second, I thought that said howdy. When I just glanced at it.
Very funny.
And just to let you know, I'm going to go out for a little bit.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for telling me.
artwork.
Thanks. All right, so I'm going to use some foam squares. And I think I like this big one right here for kind of a title for the page. So we're gonna add a couple of these larger foam squares and just put a couple smaller ones out here on the side so that it doesn't adhere to stick down to my page. I think I want to put that kind of right in the middle there. And then where else do we want to put an embellishment? Let's check out where they suggest. So it looks like they've got kind of a title up here. They've got an embellishment down here, another one here, another one here, and another one here, which is kind of a lot, depending on how many photos you have on this page, because you could fill each of these squares with photos. So let's see. I'm assuming I'm gonna want to put photos in all of those areas. So let's do we've got a scoreboard that we can put down here in the lower corner. Maybe like that. And I'm thinking probably something right here. We'll add something to this, but that's what I'm thinking is going to be the best spot. Let's do this running back right here with the football, and we'll kind of add them on to this scoreboard here. And then I think maybe we'll use the helmet and build that like so. And maybe let's use a pennant down here that says Go Team. Okay. Generally, when I am putting together a group of embellishments to make a cluster, I try to use 3 of something. You know, the adage of odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. I don't know why that is, but I believe it holds true in many visual things, whether it be putting things on your wall or, you know, creating something in a layout for a magazine, or like we do here in a layout for our albums. It's using odd numbered items definitely is just more pleasing. I don't know why. Okay, so I think we're going to go with that. This I'm just going to leave on its own because I feel like it's got enough going on in it. I don't need to add anything else. So we're just going to leave him on its own right up here. This one's going to go down here, and because that Go Team, I'm going to actually have kind of up on top of the where the photo's going to go. I'm not going to take off the backs of those foam squares. That way they will stay lifted up and I will be able to slide a photo underneath them when the time comes to put photos on this page. I don't have to worry about my football player over here because he doesn't have any adhesive or any foam squares anyway on the back of his head, so he should be okay. This one I'm going to kind of move in to be a little bit closer. That way, if we need to journal, we can journal out here, we can journal out here, we could take one of these spots up here and journal. There's lots of different places that we could add details to the photos that'll go on this page. So, what do you think? Kind of a different way to use our leaf punch, and I really like the way that it kind of mimics the look of a football. It's not exactly the same, but it's close, I think. And close enough. Gives you the feel of what we're going for. Let me know in the comments what you think about this layout and if you think you'll be able to use it. I hope you have this theme pack in your stash. If you don't, then like I said before, you can find other papers that will mimic, you know, the gridiron and different things. So you could still do this layout, and you could do it even for a different theme completely. I love that it provides so many photos. We've got room for 9 photos, possibly 10 if we hadn't used that as our title, which is amazing. So really, really a useful layout. I hope that you've enjoyed that, and thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to finishing out the year with you and doing all of our holiday layouts and stuff in beginning the very end of November and December. We'll be doing our all of our holiday layouts, and I'll be postponing. I'm expecting the Hawaii book. My Hawaii album will be done by then. Disney will not be done, but Hawaii will be done. We're going to postpone continuing to work on Disney until the beginning of the year, and just focus on the holidays for December. So I hope you'll want to join me for that. But we've got lots coming before that in October and November, so it'll be loads of fun. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.